The goal today is to provide you with. We got people in here. Is to provide you guys with actionable strategies that go beyond just traditional farming techniques. So by the end of this session, you'll know how to create deeper community connections, generate high quality leads or higher quality leads, and build long-lasting, authentic relationships within your chosen neighborhood. So the question is, why hyper-local marketing? So in today's really competitive real estate market, clients are looking for more than just a transactional experience. They want someone who understands their community on a very granular level, and someone who can offer not just, basic market knowledge, but genuine insights into neighborhoods, lifestyle, and future prospects. So by mastering hyper-local marketing, you not only get to boost your conversion rates, but also enhance your reputation as the go-to expert in your area. So let's kind of dive into what makes this approach so powerful. Traditional farming approach. Many of us are familiar with the traditional farming strategy. Broad geographical mailings, generic marketing materials, and often a lot of investment for very minimal return. The reality is that traditional mailings and things like that typically see only about 1 to 2% response rate. I'm not even talking about a conversion rate, just a response rate. So not only is this approach expensive, but it also lacks that personal touch that I think a lot of people are looking for now, and makes it difficult to form meaningful connections with future clients. Growth challenges in real estate marketing. So as digital channels become increasingly crowded, mass marketing becomes less effective. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do mass marketing. I want to make that very, very clear. I'm still a firm believer in mass marketing. But I think everybody should be looking into more hyper-local as part of their overall business strategy. So clients today and people today are bombarded with information, generic messages, which are generally very, very quickly filtered out. And more importantly, the modern client craves personalization. They want a tailored experience, not a cookie cutter approach. All right, so these challenges are exactly why hyper-local marketing is such a game changer, or can be a game changer. So by focusing on specific neighborhoods, building real connections, you can cut through all the noise and position yourself as a trusted advisor rather than just an agent. Let's see how this can work. So hyper-local marketing is a laser-focused approach where you center your efforts generally on a specific neighborhood. It could be a community. It could be a tall condo building. Some sort of centered, strategic, laser-focused approach. So this strategy involves developing a deep understanding of the micro community dynamics, and focusing on building relationships beyond mere just property transactions. So the key differentiators, generally what sets hyper-local marketing apart is your ability to truly know every aspect of the neighborhood's unique characteristics. Its history, that includes its history, and to be able to create genuine community connections. So instead of broad strokes, you paint a very detailed picture of what life is like in the area. And the stats support this in the sense where traditional marketing typically yields about a 2% conversion rate in our industry, while hyper-local strategies can achieve a significantly higher conversion rate, anywhere from 15 to 20% based on my research. Now, there's less volume. You have to understand that. There's less volume, but because of the deeper connection, there's going to be a much higher conversion rate. Moreover, the referral potential, by the way, with this approach is, according to, again, what I've researched, 4 to 5 times higher, because there's such a large buildup of that relationship that ends up in a transaction. Even if it doesn't end up in a transaction, it's very much more of an intimate connection between you and your potential client, which gives it a much higher probability of them referring you. So these numbers kind of highlight the effectiveness of building very real and very localized relationships. All right. So now that we kind of understand what it is, the next step is to select the right neighborhood to focus on. So let's talk about this from a strategical standpoint. Personal connection, number one. So when choosing a target neighborhood, start by considering areas where you have a personal connection, ideally. All right, so do you live there, or have you lived there before? Do you have family ties in the area? Authenticity is crucial in hyperlocal marketing. When you genuinely care about the community, it shows, and potential clients can sense that. In New York, which is where I'm from, and I did business a lot, what agents used to do is they used to literally move into condo buildings and just farm that building, 300-400 units. And they became the expert in that building, and then eventually it mushrooms out. But even if you're an agent who's got the market cornered in a 400 unit condo building, you're gonna do well. You're gonna make a very, very good living. All right. Next, evaluate growth potential. The growth potential of the neighborhood or a community. Are there new infrastructure developments on the horizon? Is there a commercial expansion bringing in new businesses and amenities? Is there a demographic shift, such as an influx of, say, young families or retirees? All of these things can signal a growing market. And identifying these trends early allows you to position yourself as a forward-thinking agent. Market dynamics. Assess the current market dynamics. Is the neighborhood oversaturated with agents? Is a question you can ask yourself. Do the price points align with your professional strengths and target clientele? All right, choosing the right market niche ensures you can effectively compete and serve your clients well. So for instance, if you specialize in luxury properties, focus on an emerging high-end community rather than a saturated established one. The goal is to find a market where you can create a distinctive voice and offer a newer set of expertise that's unparalleled. All right, so once you've chosen your neighborhood, the next step is to immerse yourself in its history and culture. Now, let's talk about how to become a neighborhood historian. So to establish yourself as a neighborhood historian, you got to dive into local historical societies, municipal archives, building development records, things like that. Additionally, speak with longtime residents who can provide firsthand stories and insights. All right. You'll want to also uncover the neighborhood's origin story and understand the architectural evolution and document significant community milestones. So knowing about key infrastructure developments, such as when parks were built or schools expanded, can provide invaluable context for potential buyers and sellers. All right, so imagine transforming a generic listing description like a 3-bedroom home for sale into a more captivating narrative. You know, something like a rare original craftsman from the neighborhood's founding area, surrounded by mature oaks and just steps from community's first park. All right, so it's more storytelling based, or gives you the opportunity to be more storytelling based. And such storytelling not only attracts more interest, but also builds your reputation as a local expert. And you want to regularly share these historical tidbits through newsletters, social media campaigns, and any community events that you guys may or may not be hosting. I suggest you do as part of this strategy. Over time, you'll become the go-to resource for all things related to neighborhoods past, present, and future. All right? Guys, just a general kind of little food for thought. You can build a huge pipeline of present and future clients through the art of educating. All right, not every conversation has to be about pitching. It could just be, you could position yourself as somebody that just knows a lot of facts and figures of the history of an area and be that go-to person that can answer those types of questions and provide resources or be a resource for people. That's an easy way to position yourself as an authority in a particular area or whatever niche you guys want to work in. Right? So now that you've kind of established your historical knowledge, the next step is collecting and utilizing hyperlocal data to further differentiate yourself from competitors. Right? Hyperlocal marketing is about offering insights that go beyond just standard market data. Right? Provide block by block. I wrote safety analysis. Be careful with this stuff. All right? Just use stuff online. Do not ever give your opinion on safety. All right? Use facts and figures and data when it comes to this stuff, and cite your facts and your figures and your data. Really, really important. Detailed school performance metrics. Again, don't go opinion based. All right? Just give people the resources that you're using for this information. And you can get as micro level to this to even like environmental assessments if you want. So these more advanced data points kind of enable you to answer specific questions and demonstrate a much more deeper knowledge. All right, to gather this data, again, consider partnering with local municipal agencies, conducting resident surveys, making professional assessments, of course, everything online. You go into county websites and things like that. Wikipedia, for what it's worth. Seasonal neighborhood observations like flood patterns during rainy seasons can also be something that's valuable. All right, what happens during a hurricane to this neighborhood? Like, how does it work? So imagine a potential buyer asking about street level safety statistics or which local schools excel in specific subjects. So by offering such granular insights, you position yourself, again, not just as an agent, but as a trusted advisor or a consultant who knows the neighborhood intimately. All right, so something like creating, you guys can come up with marketing material where you can create seasonal guides showing people how the local parks transform through the year or something like that, or beaches. More of a tangible sense of the community's lifestyle. All right. So with that deep knowledge and data in hand, the next step is to establish a strong digital presence that reflects your expertise. Right? So creating a robust digital presence is crucial for showcasing your hyperlocal expertise. So start by developing some sort of content strategy that includes micro-historical blogs, street-specific feature highlights, and local business profiles, which is great. Partnering with local business in general and doing some cross-marketing there. So this type of content not only educates potential clients, but also establishes you as that go-to neighborhood information, which I've already mentioned a lot and will continue to mention. Platform optimization, build neighborhood-specific landing pages, and dedicated social media accounts. Use hyperlocal SEO techniques to ensure your content ranks well in search results. Guys, use AI for this, or use AI to help you with this. So for example, instead of targeting broad keywords like homes for sale in Miami, focus on niche terms like, again, we've talked about like Craftsman Homes in Coconut Grove. This strategy attracts a more targeted and motivated audience. Leverage digital tools such as geofencing and targeted social media advertising to reach potential clients within your neighborhood. Interactive neighborhood maps and video content that provides local insights could also boost engagement. I am a huge proponent in video marketing. Just walk around the neighborhood and film yourself talking about, if you do a study on the history of a certain area or a certain block of an area, just walk the block and talk about its history. It's so simple. Video showing a day in the life of a neighborhood or featuring local events generally also perform really, really well as from a marketing standpoint. All right. There's a lot of stuff out there. If you guys want to go on YouTube and you want to see what agents are doing, there's agents that have out there that have created a series of like short videos called 5-minute neighborhood tours. And these videos will generally highlight local hotspots, and they'll go and they'll interview business owners, and they'll gain significant traction on social, meaning leading into that 20% increase in leads from the area. So with this in place, the next step is to kind of build alliances with local businesses, enhancing your community presence and expanding that referral network. All right, so when building local businesses alliance, look for opportunities with home service providers or retail businesses, restaurants, and any professional services. So they don't have to be necessarily storefront, right? Just you can Google map local businesses in the area and reach out to them digitally. Community organizations are also great partners, as they often have deep-rooted connections within a neighborhood. And that includes any kind of like Facebook. I own a home in Naples Park, Florida, and we have a whole Naples Park Facebook group, which is phenomenal. It's such an easy way to connect with people. Now, consider setting up a structured referral program and organize joint community events. Events are a great way to attract people by the masses. Collaborative content creation, such as featuring local businesses in your marketing or hosting cross-promotional opportunities, can easily generate win-win scenarios for you and them. And then kind of the value exchange model. Right, your offer can include client referrals and increase visibility for their business. All right, goes back to that win-win strategy. In return, they can provide you with local recommendations and some valuable community introductions. So, for example, partnering with a popular local cafe to feature your listings on their bulletin board while promoting the cafe in your newsletter or in your social media marketing. All right. I've seen an agent once team up with a local landscaping company to offer discounted services to new homeowners. This not only helped the landscaping company gain new clients, but also added value to the agent's services. And that led to an increased amount of referrals. I hope some light bulbs are going off. So to solidify your community presence further, let's explore how to integrate yourself into local organizations and initiatives. All right, so one of the most effective ways to integrate into a community is by taking on a leadership role. So join your HOA board if you have one. Participate in school organizations. Engage with municipal committees. Look for online communities as well. You can also lead neighborhood improvement initiatives, so positioning yourself as a proactive community leader. Create neighborhood traditions by launching events or improvement projects. Host workshops on home ownership or real estate trends or market updates. And you can facilitate connections among residents by introducing newcomers to existing community groups. So measurement metrics, all right, to measure your impact, track event attendance and referral network group. Pay attention to how often your name is mentioned in community forums or any kind of local social media groups. Becoming a recognized leader not only boosts your brand, but also organically generates referrals. I've known an agent, for example, initiate a community cleanup in the past. They filmed it, and they documented the before and after transformation. The project not only improved the neighborhood's appeal, but it also led to an increase in listing inquiries from residents who admired the initiative. So while community involvement is crucial, you can amplify your influence, of course, even more by establishing there's something you can do. It's called a neighborhood ambassador program. So here's an idea. The neighborhood ambassador program, this is kind of as a theory, involves recruiting influential residents to act as your local advocates. All right, these are ambassadors. These ambassadors share community information and generate referrals through their established networks. Ambassadors can help promote your events, share your listings, or just share your marketing as a whole. and introduce you to potential clients. Their primary role is to bridge the gap between you and the community by endorsing your expertise and services and your ability. Look for well-connected residents who are passionate about their neighborhood. So if you guys join, for example, a Facebook group, like when I go into the Facebook Naples Park group, you start recognizing people who are more vocal than others, who are constantly posting, constantly commenting, constantly looking for ways to improve the area. They're just residents. All right. But these could be anybody. These could be active parents in the area, small business owners, people with some sort of long-standing ties to the community who are eager to contribute to local growth and development. Implementation. So provide your ambassadors with training and ongoing support. Equip them with branded materials, exclusive information, and incentives for referrals. Regularly update them on your latest offerings as a real estate agent and keep communication channels open. So this is a theory of you can cater to the masses, or you can find a few people that already have access to the masses and cater to them and let them be your bridge. All right? It's like partnering with a mortgage broker who's got a huge network of people looking for homes. All right. You can partner, you can mass market and try to go after everyone, or you can kind of zoom in a little bit and go after people who already have access to those people. Again, as a little bit of a bridge. So, all right. So to support all these initiatives, leveraging technology is going to be essential. I want to explore the technology tools that can boost your marketing efforts. Effective hyperlocal marketing generally relies on tech to gather data, target ads, if you want to do the ad thing, and track engagement. Geofencing platforms, you can use geofencing platforms to send location-based notifications to potential clients. So you can implement neighborhood-specific CRM systems to manage interaction and nurture leads over time. Again, KV Core can do this for you. I personally prefer other CRMs, but if you don't want to go out of pocket, KV Core is absolutely fine. All right. Social media platform, guys, is really, really important. All right. You want to use social media platforms to create ads, or at least just post a lot. And you want to target residents within specific zip codes. Interactive community mapping tools can also showcase your listings or just showcase some of the historical findings in your research within the context of neighborhood amenities and hotspots. Track all your engagement. All right. Everybody here, no matter what, should never be primarily communicating from your cell phone. If you have to make a call, you make a call from your phone. But as far as like text and emails and things like that, I think everything should be through a CRM. You got to track everything. You got to have a history of everything. All right, but you can track engagement metrics like open rates if you're using a CRM for mass marketing, email marketing, for any of your emails, and your responses to your social media posts. And anything that you do as far as events, online, virtual event, or otherwise, or any kind of community event, track attendance. All right, these metrics will ultimately help you fine-tune your strategy and identify the most effective tactics. All right, because if you do everything, or if you try everything and you're tracking it, you're going to see that a few things that you're doing is going to be working more than others. And instead of focusing on the things that aren't working, you should focus on scaling the things that are. And that is quite frankly my advice for you guys in anything that you do in the business. You should try everything. If you're newer to the business, you should try everything. And I don't mean try it for like a week. You're going to implement some sort of new strategy. You're going to implement some sort of new system. You want to give it at least 90 days, if not 6 months. All right. I love using CRMs with any kind of built-in analytics All right. By tracking this stuff, you can integrate more and more content into your marketing that is going to speak to people at a much higher level, at a level that is going to get asses off of seats, ideally. And you want to ultimately boost overall engagement. All right. So having the right tool, now that you have the right tool, it's important to measure your performance consistently. So I want to talk a little bit about want to hone in which metrics you guys should really look at. So to evaluate success of your hyper-local marketing efforts, track metrics like name recognition, market share, and conversion rates. And these are metrics that you should be tracking off the board, across the board, especially conversion rate. A good benchmark is achieving over 50% name recognition within your target neighborhood and aiming for at least a 25% market share. The market share numbers is key here. All right. Since hyper-local strategies typically yield about 3 times the conversion rate of traditional marketing, you want to monitor your lead to client conversion closely. If you're not seeing improvement over time, you got to revisit your strategies and identify some of your gaps. Also, measure how many of your leads are coming from local business referrals and community events. So a steady increase in referrals indicate that your community connections are gaining strength. All right, I had an agent once that I worked with that tracked their referrals and discovered that 70% of new clients came from their ambassador program. I forgot who exactly they partnered with, but it was a couple of small business owners. All right, and they just focused on that and they refined their program and they just kept increasing it. You don't have to throw everything at the wall every time you need to level up and scale your business. All right. So with clear metrics in place, you can confidently move forward with your hyper local marketing journey. Let's outline a practical implementation timeline for you. So here's just, hold on 1 second. I just had somebody call my phone and it screwed me up a little bit because I didn't put my stuff on Do Not Disturb. Okay, sorry about that. I usually put it on Do Not Disturb when I do these, and I forgot to do it, and now my phone's blowing up. Okay. So here's this is a template. All right. So you start by having a 30-day kind of quick start. You begin by selecting your neighborhood, and you spend a month conducting your initial research. You build your local knowledge and you start creating preliminary content to share online. Guys, use ChatGPT. I can give you an example of how you would do it in ChatGPT if you want after we're done with this presentation, which we're almost done, and I can answer any of your questions. All right. Then you go into your 90-day foundation stage, which is you want to engage with different stakeholders of your community, from local businesses to community groups. Develop some robust content strategy and start posting consistently on your digital platforms. And that leads into kind of more established 6-month authority stage, I call it. Launch your neighborhood ambassador program and lead community initiatives. By this stage, you should be gaining recognition as a neighborhood expert. And then the 1-year mastery. After a full year, your goal is to have a well-established referral network, strong market share, and high name recognition. Consistency is key, guys, as it is with really anything. Keep building on your early successes and refine your strategies along the way. This is not going to be something that gets built overnight. All right. As you follow this or whatever timeline you establish for yourself, remember that hyper-local marketing and any marketing in any business, particularly real estate, because it's so relationship-driven. I will use the old corny adage, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So many agents fail in our industry because of inaccurate expectations. Where the few that are actually implementing something newer to their business will usually quit on that new thing that they've implemented way too soon. Way too soon. And they're not doing it consistently enough. All right, so you got to go into it with the expectation that before you even see like small victories, it could be months, certainly weeks. And all while you have to wake up every morning and you have to keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. That's the hard part. It's consistently executing without fully knowing if what you're doing is working or is going to work. That's why having a really good plan that you trust up front is important. But that's the hard part in our industry. Where you establish something or you're doing something consistently, and after a month of doing it, you don't really feel like you've gained a lot of traction. So what do? Do you put it down and you start something else, or do you continue pushing? That's more of an art, not a science. But this is the kind of mental gymnastics, if you will, the mental game that we all play with ourselves. This is the hard part. It's waking up in the morning and going, shit, like, I don't know if this is working or not. What do I do? All right? But you want to go into it with the proper expectations. You don't want to give yourself a couple of weeks and go, okay, this isn't working. Give yourself a full 90 days at a minimum, anything that you do. Whether it's something related to this or whether it's anything else that's out there.